Hmm. I got a quick question for everyone. I decided to go live tonight and talk about something that has been on my heart here lately, having these different lives and conversations. Oh no, I got a window open. It don't need to be open. 1 second. All right, I'm back. So let me get everything back situated. Having some technical difficulties right now. All right, so let's get back going. So I want to talk about tonight breaking limiting beliefs. I think awareness is key, and that's the first way to break limiting beliefs. I remember when I first got my first job when I was making $7.50. I was like, man, this is a lot of money. And then I was like, man, this is not a lot of money when I started paying bills. Then I started making $10 an hour, $14 an hour, $25 an hour, $28 an hour, and then 50, 70, $100, all the way up to now where I am. But I never thought the spot that I'm in right now was possible because I never saw it before. But I think a lot of people on social media are trying to be like people that are not really moving the way that they appear to be moving, if that makes sense. I know Tony the closer, he exposes a lot of fake people that perceive like they're living a life that they're not really living. And I think it's great that he does that. But a limiting belief is thinking because you haven't seen it done that it's impossible. Thinking that it can't be you when others are doing it. Or thinking something is a scam just because you haven't seen it done before. I know my hair is looking crazy, so I don't really care right now. But it's late, it's bedtime. So I want to break that. And it's only one way, well, it's a couple ways to break limiting beliefs. First is exposure to the things that you think are fake or phony. So I remember when I had my first $40,000 month, and I was like, man, this is crazy. I never thought I would hit $40,000. So I wasn't prepared for it. I didn't know what to do with the money. I'm blowing and taking trips. I'm doing a whole bunch of things I shouldn't be doing. When I could have turned that money into $100,000 a month or beyond that. And I didn't have any discipline. I wasn't consistent about what I was doing, from learning to investing to personal development. I was in and out of the gym. My lifestyle was imbalanced. But when I started praying more, going to the gym more, I felt like my life was changing. And I'm not going to say it was changing for the good. I felt like I was slipping, I was falling, I was losing money. I wasn't as successful as I thought I was being when I had a lot. But then something happened and I understood what was going on. Like, I hear this song playing that I think it's his name, Young Miami, talking about scamming and all of this other things. And I heard her say that she's chosen by God, or God is something about God don't play with her, something like that. God is with her. But that doesn't mean God is with you if you're promoting something that takes people attention away from God and being um, a servant for Him. I don't care how much money you have. I don't care how much recognition you have, how much fame you have. If you are promoting something that is being, the attention is being taken away from God, then eventually it's going to catch up to you. When you try to find your way back, it's going to be harder because it's like you're on the beach and you're going further and further away from the shore, further and further away, further and further away. And it's fun when you're swimming out there and you're having a good time with your friends. But when it gets dark, believe me, I was in the Navy. When it gets dark, it's really lonely in the sea. It gets cold and you don't even see the land anymore. So when you try to make your way back, you get tired, you get worn out, and you don't even think that you're going to be able to make it, and you feel like you're going to drown if you're swimming back to land. But that's outside of my message. What I'm trying to do tonight is show you how you can make 1K more, 5K more, 50K a month more than you already are making if you just become aware of the different opportunities that are out here in the world that we all have access to. A lot of people have Chat GPT. So if you do have Chat GPT, I want you to do this. Type in not a career, but different ways that you can utilize the skills that you have to make $100,000 a month. And then comment below and let me know what it says. And I'm gonna tell you what my specialty is as a coach, a development coach, business development coach, life coach, not certified life coach, but I use the Bible and my experience to help others create a better life. My creativity comes to life because I am able to think through problems through the training that I have in corporate environments as well. So I accelerate your growth. I make you believe that you could do it. And I focus on discipline and consistency and constant, continuous improvement to get to where you're trying to get to. So I want to talk about a few different things tonight, but that's something that I wanted to put out there before we get started here. I have some bullets that I want to cover here. So points. So that's what I'm looking at. All right, let's go to the first one, and I want to talk about point. 3, 2, 1, right here. All right, it's a quote. It's Jim Rohn. So I've been following Jim Rohn for about 3 years now. Um, if you don't know who he is, he's a motivational speaker, philosopher, and he's very wise. But he uses different analogies and relatable things to trigger things in your brain to make you believe and break those limiting beliefs. Similar to Myron Golden, which I love him too. I read his book and I follow his page as well. So Jim Rohn says success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. So if you think about going to the gym and the first time you enter the gym, you're weak. You think you can lift a lot, and then most people stop going because their ego gets in the way. They're looking at the other guy that's lifting more than them. They're looking at that girl that has a better body than them. And they're like, I feel insecure about what I got going on. And I think that happens a lot on social media too. When people don't get 100,000 views, 1,000,000 views, Mr. Beast just had just I think he just crossed the threshold of 500, is it billion subscribers on YouTube? And you have some YouTubers out there comparing themselves to Mr. Beast, but they're not looking at all the work he put in, all the pain he put in, all the long hours, sleepless nights, the obsession that he has for developing content that people around the world will look at. And that's the biggest blocker when it comes to breaking your beliefs, your limiting beliefs. You're programmed to think that whatever your mom told you, whatever your teacher told you, whatever your dad, whoever it was told you, it's the only way to do something. And what I try to do with my kids, I try to tell them to believe in themselves, but be focused and be dedicated to what they're trying to do and push them in every way possible to accomplish the things they want to accomplish. So if you tell me, and I do this with my wife too, if you tell me you want something, I'm going to always push you to do it. I'm always push you to get it. And then even with my clients, if they say they want to make $1 million in a month, I'm like, okay, let's go. Let's see how we're going to get it done. And if they start doubting themselves because they didn't hit it that first month, that doesn't mean you're not going to hit it the second month or the third month. But the reality is, as long as you're working towards that goal that you have written down that you're obsessed with, eventually that 1 month that you take off, you'll be able to do it again and do it again and do it again. But most people don't think like that. They run into a roadblock and they stop and they go back to something that's comfortable. And I said this earlier today, do something hard every day that pushes your limits. And then when you run into those roadblocks, you'll know how to handle them and get through them. Sometimes we live in spaces that we are unfamiliar with, but that doesn't stop us from growing. I'll give you another example. Say you applied for a job that you weren't qualified to do. You get that job, and the first thing that comes up is something that you lied about on your job application. What are you going to do? Are you going to learn how to do it, or are you going to go to your boss and say, I lied on my job application, I quit? Let that sit. Are you going to go tell on yourself and say, I quit? Or are you going to figure out how to do it so you could keep that job that you weren't qualified to do? This works in so many different areas. Sports. When you were on a team or playing with people that were better than you, did you give up and stop playing? Or did you go work outside of the game to keep up with those people that you were aware of now that you know that they're faster, stronger, jump higher? Or did you quit and say, this isn't for me? My wife and I are going through this trading journey right now. We have ups, downs, highs, lows. But I always tell her it's going to work because it has to work. As long as we figure out what we did wrong every day, as long as we figure out what we did right every day, we're going to make it happen. And that'll be another source of income outside of the business, outside of investments. So, like Jim Rohn said, success is a few simple disciplines practiced every day. So practice your disciplines every day until they become habits. It's like walking and talking. Now I'm going to point to another person I follow and read his book, Think and Grow Rich, Napoleon Hill. Napoleon Hill taught that achievement starts in the mind. A lot of people write themselves off in their head before they even think of the success they can accomplish. They already say they can't do it. And say, hey man, I want to make $1 million. Like, man, I can't make $1 million. I don't have any skills to do it. That's the wrong mindset to have if you really truly feel like you should be making $1 million. If you want to make $1 million, figure out something you can do that will bring that to life. Develop that skill and push it out. Live in the uncomfortable moment so you can make your $1 million. Whether it's a month, whether it's a year, whether it's $1 million in 6 months, it doesn't matter. If you write it down and say, I'm focused on making $1 million, you'll eventually start breaking it down. How am I going to get it? What am I doing wrong? What do I need to do next? Every day. So these two things align. So it starts here, and then you write it down, and it comes to life. And that's godly. God didn't put us here to be fearful of anything, any man or situation. The only thing we should fear is God, because God put us here to do everything and anything. Let's talk about Elon Musk really quick. Spaceships, electric cars. These are trillionaires. Who would think they wake up one day and say, I want to be a trillionaire? Most people say, there's no way I can make $1 trillion or I could be worth $1 trillion. But he did it. What makes you different? It's your mind that makes you different. It's your beliefs that makes you different. A lot of people say, well, he has a lot of money. He had money. He could have blown it. He could have said, I'm going to go out and I'm going to stop being better every day. And just, I have money. When he reached $1 billion, multi-billionaire, he could have stopped right there. But he keeps going. He keeps creating. So it's in his mind that he's going to keep building, keep living, keep creating value for people, different ideas, bringing them to the marketplace. And he's going to have a great life because he will continuously grow his wealth. But it started here. If I ask someone, do you want to become a millionaire? They'll say, well, I do, but if anyone talks like that, I don't even want to be around them. I want to say, do you want to become a millionaire? How can we do it together? What partnerships can we leverage? What skills do you have? How can I help you? How can you help me? That's what I believe in. I believe in good people. Good people with good work ethic. Because you could be a good person, a nice person, and be lazy. You could be um, a very, I wouldn't say goal driven. You could be a person that wants just enough. I don't want to be around people that want just enough. I want to be around people that push me to be the best version of myself so I can bring the best version of them out. So let's go to point number 3. Excuse me. Myron Golden. And when I read Myron Golden's book, I was aware of so many different things that I didn't know. But of course, I come from a very small town, and I didn't make an excuse for the situation I was in. Played basketball, didn't know anything about business, didn't know anything about even the military when I joined. I didn't know anything. And you see, I have this plaque here because I was supporting some very serious people in the government. But let's get back to Myron Golden. One thing I respect about Myron is his style. He refers back to the Bible principles in almost everything that he does. Because the Bible it can't steer you wrong, from marriage to business to everything. So right now, I'll give you a little insight on what I'm doing. I'm going to read Proverbs every month to work on my discipline and my wisdom. Work on myself, ask God to guide me where I need to go. After I read a chapter, 2 chapters a day, I'm going to keep reading over and over and over, because I want to develop that mental aspect in my brain, or that mental space in my brain, that I can refer back to Proverbs and quote it verbatim. So that's why I like it. That's what I like about Myra. Now, there is a belief that you could say that I'm behind, and that's not a bad thing. I don't want to break that, but I want you to be grateful for what you have in front of you as well. If you feel like you're behind, that means you're working towards something. That means something that's in front of you that you're trying to accomplish or get to. Saying that I'm behind is like saying that I see it, but I just don't have it yet. But most people use that I'm behind to give up. And why would you want to give up on something that you feel like you can accomplish? My father in law said this: don't let a win go to your head, and don't let a loss go to your heart. And I'm going to keep that with me for the rest of my life, because it's so true. If you have a big win, don't let it go to your head and make you feel like you can't lose. But if you lose, don't feel like it's the end of the world either. Now, another belief that I really want to break is I'm not ready. If you're not ready, get ready. Stay prepared for that moment that you will step in and you'll be ready for it. Always tell yourself you're ready. When I first started speaking in front of crowds, when I first started presenting in front of hundreds of people, I felt like I wasn't ready. I was fumbling over my words. I didn't have anything to read off. But I trained myself to get ready after every presentation, after every speaking engagement, after everything that I did. I went back and said, what could I have done better? And that's how I could speak tonight. I don't care who's watching. I'm going to pour out what I need to pour out so I can inspire one person, 2 people, 10 people. I don't care. As long as I can touch someone, that's all that matters to me. But don't ever think that you're not ready. Now, the winning formula, right? Let's talk about that. Discipline plus consistency, then multiply that by continuous improvement. What does that look like? Be disciplined enough to do things when you don't want to do them. Be consistent at doing things every day that moves that needle forward. And then always focus on getting better every day. This is what I tell my family every night, every day probably. If you get better every day, why can't you accomplish the thing that you want to? And I'm going to just leave it there. It's nothing after that. If you get better every day, that means if you were one way yesterday and you're better today, and then you're better tomorrow than you were today, and then you're better the next day than you were, you're so far ahead than you were at the beginning of the week. And those small wins compound, just like money. I give you a challenge. We don't even have to wait till 2027 because we should start this. I might start this during 2020, at the beginning of 2027. Every day, put $1 into your savings. But not only $1, so whatever day it is, so let's say January 1st, you put $1. January the 2nd, you put $2. January the 3rd, you put $3. And then you keep going. Let's see how many people in December the 31st can keep that up. And it starts with $1. Because that's what continuously improving means, is putting that dollar, adding that, and it compounding every day. And it gets harder and harder to do that because you're getting better and better every day. Do the math. 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7, and keep going until the end of the year. And see how hard it will be in December to keep that up. And someone let me know how much money that will be at the end of the year. And it's not 365. Might I add. Sorry, I have a little bit of a cold. Now, let's bridge the revenue gap. Wins come from repeated execution every day. Now, when I'm coaching my clients, I'm asking them to measure their outcomes. What does measuring your outcomes look like? If you say you're going to do X amount of outreach, or you say you're going to post X amount of content, and you're looking for X amount of views or X amount of responses back, measure that. What this does is it programs in your brain and you put it on paper what I need to work on or what's working. We call this leaning the process out and while you're implementing the system. And we do it in everything we do, from military to corporate to entrepreneurship to content creation. It has to be done. If anyone knows Mr. Beast, ask him how did he come up with the content that he releases. The same way that software development companies come out with new software enhancements, all of these different things, all of these different items that continuously gets better. iPhone, they release the same type of iPhone and then put enhancements inside of the iPhone. The apps that go inside of the iPhone, they're getting better based on the iPhone and the things that's going on around it. So what makes you different from the things that these people are developing? Your business should be the same way. Your business should get better every year because they get better every day. Your life should get better every year because your life gets better every day. Your fitness should get better every year because your fitness gets better every day. But the only way that it will get better is if you are disciplined and you have consistency and then multiply it by improvement. So I'm gonna end that tonight on no matter if you're trying to make 5K, 10K, 50K, 100K a month, or even $1 million a month, you can do it. But there's certain ways that it can be easier to do. And I'm providing that in the 5 a.m. club. Partnerships, business growth, faith, fitness, business, mental health. My mission is to make more millionaires in this world every year than anyone else. I want people to come to others and say, do you know who Domonique Holliday is? He's made 100 millionaires in the last 6 months, or 1,000 millionaires at the end of the year. That's my goal. So if you are someone that wants to break your limiting beliefs and you want to start accomplishing the things that people told you could not do, join the 5 a.m. club. Let's start.